Hey everyone, this is Hale from Destination Thrills, and today we have a awesome coaster duel for you. It is the best coasters at Cedar Point. And I was really excited to do this coaster tournament because I know a lot of people are interested in Cedar Point. I mean, it is the roller coaster capital of the world. So we have some world-class coasters participating in this duel. I'm very excited to see how the voters voted in each individual duel. And I haven't seen the final results yet, so I'm actually going to reveal them live as I'm doing this voiceover so you guys can get my natural reaction to how the tournament turned out. So I'm really eager to get into these results and see how everything panned out. So let's go over the bracket. And actually, before I do that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who voted. We had a high participation rate. Over 150 people voted in every coaster duel. It was great to see that. And if you are interested in participating in other coaster duels or coaster tournaments, be sure to follow us on Instagram, as we will be posting all of our matchups to our Instagram story, and we'll do all the bracket reveals and let you know of future coaster duels on our Instagram page. So give us a follow on there so you can participate in the next coaster tournament. All right, so let's dive into the bracket here. Let's start out with the left side of the bracket, and as you can see, our first round matchups were Valraven versus Rougarou. This I thought would be a tight race, and then we had Magnum XL 200, which came in as the 5th seed, taking on Blue Streak. And then as you can see, our top seeds on this side of the bracket, Top Thrill Dragster, the 4 seed, has a bye into the quarterfinals, and Steel Vengeance, which is our obvious number 1 seed. Let's move on to the right side of the bracket, and we have Raptor versus Wicked Twister in the first round, and Gatekeeper versus Gemini. And then we have the top seeds on the right side, which is Maverick at number 2, and Millennium Force with our 3 seed. Again, these coasters have a bye into the quarterfinal round. All right, so let's go through the results of our first round, and we'll start out on the left side. Valraven beat Rougarou with 65% of the vote. And Magnum XL, no surprise here, 87% of the vote, moves on to the quarterfinals. On the right side of our bracket, we had Wicked Twister versus Raptor, and Raptor won easily, 82%, moving on to the quarterfinals. Our next first round matchup was Gatekeeper versus Gemini, and again, Gatekeeper winning easily, 66%, and will move on to take on Maverick in the quarterfinal round. All right, on to our quarterfinals. Steel Vengeance versus Valraven. No surprise here. Steel Vengeance wins 91% of the vote and moves on to the semifinals. Also moving on to the semifinals on the left side of the bracket is Top Thrill Dragster beating out Magnum XL 200, 71% of the vote. This was kind of a surprise for me. I thought this was going to be a close battle between the two, with possibly Magnum XL upsetting Top Thrill Dragster. But that was not the case at all. Top Thrill Dragster won easily, again 71% of the vote, and will move forward to take on Steel Vengeance in the semifinal. Onto the right side of the bracket, the quarterfinals here. Millennium Force easily beating Raptor, 78%. And then we had Maverick taking out Gatekeeper with 84% of the vote. So our semifinal matchup will be Maverick versus Millennium Force. All right, so that set up our semifinal matchups. We also had a consolation bracket so we could determine 5th place and 7th place winners. In this consolation bracket, our matchups were Gatekeeper taking on Raptor, and then Valraven taking on Magnum XL 200. The winner would move on to our 5th place matchups, and the losers would battle it out in the 7th place match. So let's start out with the consolation bracket. We had Magnum XL versus Valraven. This was a tight race. Magnum XL moves on to the 5th place match, winning 56% of the vote over Valraven. Then we had another tight match. It was Gatekeeper versus Raptor, the battle of the B&Ms here, and Raptor just narrowly beating out Gatekeeper with 51% of the vote. This was a narrow victory, and Raptor moves on to the 5th place matchup, and Gatekeeper will take on Valraven, another B&M battle for 7th place. All right, now it's time to go to our semi-final matchups. And, you know, I want to say there's some clear favorites here, but you never know. There's so many people who love coasters like Top Thrill Dragster and Millennium Force that I thought there was a slight possibility of an upset in this round. So let's see if that happened. In the semi-final matchup, Steel Vengeance versus Top Thrill Dragster. Steel Vengeance would move on to the championship, winning 76% of the vote. I'm actually surprised that Top Thrill Dragster managed to get 24% of the vote here. It's really interesting to think that a fourth of our voters thought Top Thrill Dragster was better than Steel Vengeance. And our last semifinal round, we had Maverick versus Millennium Force. This one I thought would be tight, and honestly, Maverick did win with a decent amount of votes, 68% over Millennium Force with 32%. So Maverick will take on Steel Vengeance in the finals. No surprise here. And in the 3rd place match, we will have a rematch between Millennium Force and Top Thrill Dragster. If you've been following our coaster duels, we actually did this duel, Millennium Force versus Top Thrill Dragster, and it was one of the closest coaster duels we've ever had. So this will be an interesting 3rd place matchup. All right, now it's time to get to our final rounds here, and let's start off with our 7th place matchup. And again, I have not seen these results yet, so I'm really excited to see who won between Valraven and Gatekeeper. Before I look at the results, I'm going to take my guess that, it's tough, but I'm going to say Gatekeeper takes out Valraven. Personally, I like Valraven better than Gatekeeper. I just think it's more intense, and it has that first drop, which is amazing. Gatekeeper is just one of those coasters where it kind of just glides along the track. It's very smooth, but there really is no intensity to the ride. So I prefer Valraven, but I think a lot of our voters, just hearing from people talking, a lot of people like Gatekeeper, and a lot of people hate on Valraven. So I'm going to say that Gatekeeper barely beats out Valraven here. And so our winner of 7th place is Gatekeeper with 66% of the vote. So actually, I thought this was going to be much closer, but it appears that Gatekeeper is our clear 7th place winner here. All right, it's time to move on to our 5th place matchup. We have Magnum XL, which I thought might be in the top 4. You know, when I was doing the seeding, I almost put Magnum XL as a 4C because I know there's so many people that love this ride. I personally love this ride. I think it's a top 3 in the park, but I also know that there's a lot of hate on this coaster as well. It's a love it or hate it attraction. And I also know there's a lot of fans of Raptor, so this could be a closer race. You know, starting out the duel, I would have said, oh, Magnum XL would have easily beat out Raptor. But the way the votes have gone, I think this could be close. So I'm going to say Magnum wins, but let's see what you chose for 5th place. And wow, Raptor won 52% of the vote, just narrowly beating out Magnum XL and wins 5th place. I'm really surprised that Magnum did not perform that well in this tournament. Something interesting to note for future coaster duels. All right, it is time to get to our 3rd place matchup, and I am really excited for this one. It is the rematch between Top Thrill Dragster and Millennium Force. Now, we did this duel a month ago, and Millennium Force just narrowly beat Top Thrill Dragster. It was one of our closest coaster duels of all time. And so now that we have the rematch, I am excited to see who wins again. We might have had some different participants that like Top Thrill Dragster more. It could go either way here. I'm just really excited to see the results. So without any further stalling, our 3rd place winner is Millennium Force with 59% of the vote, so it actually took home a bigger percentage this time around. And Millennium Force is our third place winner at Cedar Point. All right, now it is time for our championship matchup. It is Maverick versus Steel Vengeance, and to be honest, I think Steel Vengeance is going to win this one pretty easily. It is known as the best coaster in the world, and that's just so hard to compete with. Even though Maverick for a while would be a lot of people's number ones, and I think Maverick is an excellent coaster. It blew me away when I was at Cedar Point, but it's just hard to compete with an RMC like Steel Vengeance. So I think Maverick will probably take home a good amount of votes, but I think Steel Vengeance is going to be the clear winner here. And let's see what the voters chose. Our champion of the 2019 Cedar Point Tournament is Steel Vengeance with 73% of the vote, beating out Maverick. Maverick will take home second place. And congratulations to all you fans of Steel Vengeance. Steel Vengeance is our champion. No surprise here, as it wins the Cedar Point Coaster Tournament. Again, thank you everyone who participated in this battle. I'm really hoping to do more of these tournaments in the future and really grow this to where our participation is super high the next time around. So if you like this coaster tournament, I would recommend following us on Instagram. I will link it in the description below. And also subscribe to this channel, as we will be revealing all of our coaster tournament results here. And we have tons of other theme park content that we do. We do reviews, rankings, coaster speculations. All that stuff is found on this channel. Anyway, thank you for watching this coaster tournament. I will be revealing the next coaster duel on our Instagram page in about a week or so. So again, stay tuned for that. Again, Steel Vengeance is our winner of the Cedar Point Tournament. I'm Hale from Destination Thrills. Have a good one.